Welcome to Canada, it's a maple leaf state. Canada, oh Canada, it's great. The people are nice and they speak French too. If you don't like it, man, you sniff glue. The great white north, their kilts are plaid, hosers take off. It's not half bad, I want to be where yaks can run free, where royal mounties can arrest me. Let's go to Canada, let's leave today. Canada, oh Canada, I see who play.
Hello, this is Leanor with Too Punk to Be a Hippie, and I'm excited to introduce everybody to my next guest, Jessica. And she is one of the podcasters and creators of Mabel Syndrome. How you doing, girl?
Hey, it's good to be here. I'm doing really good. I got off my heat pack in bed and threw some makeup on,
Right?
and I'm here. But yeah, I'm doing good.
Very cool. So tell us before we go into your hippie vibe and the things that you do for the earth. Before we get into that, you made a big impact on me by your podcast and the whole subculture of women creation empowerment thing that you do. Can you tell me a little bit about Mabel Syndrome, how you began it and what it is?
Sure. Mabel Syndrome was created by two of us. Kristen is the other half, and it was kind of her brainchild. And one day, about 6 years ago, we had never really met each other. And it was just sort of an online friendship. And she came to me and was like, hey, I have this idea. You know, it's such a male dominated scene and there must be other women out there like me. What do you think about starting this thing that kind of joins women together? And we didn't really know what we were doing. And we didn't really think anybody would be interested in talking to us or hearing from us. And over the 6 years, it just sort of snowballed into this massive community.
And you're talking about the punk scene, right? You're talking about women
Yes.
in the punk scene.
Women
Yeah.
in the punk scene,
Yeah.
yes. Women in the punk scene, not the hippie gardening scene.
No.
We're
No.
very represented there. But
Yeah.
in the punk rock scene, you know, over 6 years, we created a podcast, all the social media platforms.
Mhm.
There's so many different layers to it. And it went from sort of being two of us to dozens and dozens of women from all over the world contributing and helping. And recently we're having some changes happening with Mabel Syndrome, and we're having some women that have sort of been behind the scenes helping us for years,
Mhm.
sort of stepping up and taking more of a leadership role. And like it's truly sort of becoming a bit more of a collective, which is what Kristen's idea had always been.
Awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, you can find us on all the social media platforms.
Yep.
And over the next little while, you can look forward to, you know, meeting some new faces and seeing some women from all over the world kind of taking some charge and taking some lead and doing some new exciting things. So
That's super cool to me because when I was first introduced to the punk scene, I was 15, which I don't know what year that was, early 90s, right? Early 90s.
right.
And so it's true. There were few and far between girls at that time, like young teenage girls, and now even women that were into it, to where when I would find another woman or girl back in those days that was into it, I was like, you like punk? You like FYP? You like the Descendants? You like, and then it felt like a kindred spirit. Like they were, you had to look for them and find them, and not just,
100%.
It sounds rude. I'm going to say it. You probably have some experience in this too, but like the girls that are like, when I was in college, like, dye my hair so I look punk because the punk guy likes me.
Okay, yeah.
Teach me about some of the cool bands because I need to look cool at shows. Not like the underground scratch the surface, really like punk, right?
Yeah.
But the girls that get it.
You know, we've had a really strong sort of theme with Mabel Syndrome over the years. One of the big things that started for Kristen and I when we connected was like the whole groupie thing. Like there's so much more to women in the punk rock scene, like, you know, being there for the music and being there for the bands and that sort of thing. And always having to prove yourself, you know. And it's a lot more it's a lot more talked about now. And, you know, there's like that constant meme that goes around. It's like when you're wearing a band's shirt, like a guy comes up to you and he's like, can you name 3 songs?
Right.
You know, and it's like, I can name you all of the tracks plus the album. You know,
right.
They recorded it, the studio they recorded in, and like that kind of thing. And so that's always been sort of a thread that we've talked about. And, you know, when Kristen, and I really have to say, like, she was the brainchild with this, and I luckily was the one she asked to come along on this ride and create this with her.
Mhm.
You know, we thought that we were kind of alone. We thought
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
you know, we thought nobody was gonna pay attention or listen, and people just started saying yes and jumping on with us so quickly, and we were like,
Mhm.
"What? There's other people like this. There's other women like that."
Yeah.
And, you know, it was pretty cool. We also started getting emails from parents being like,
Mm.
"Thank you for being women in the scene. My daughter needs people like you to show them that there's other ones out there." And so
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
it's grown over the years, and we're really proud of it, and I look forward to seeing what happens in the coming months with these new faces taking over a lot of the business.
Yeah, that's cool. I had, I think it was last year, maybe 2 years, with COVID, I don't understand time anymore, you know?
Yeah.
But, I had Kristen on, and she talked about, because she lives in Boston,
Mhm.
and her, hippie contribution is that she composts.
Yeah.
And the reason she does it, she says in Boston, they make it easy. Like that's part of your trash system. Like we don't have
So
that here where
cool.
they give you, I know, right? Like you have to pay more to recycle here in Denver. You pay your trash and then you have to pay more to recycle. She says it's just part of the whole system where they set you up with your compost trash can. Isn't that rad?
It's amazing, and, you
Yeah.
know, more people would do it if that was available. My
Hmm.
old community that I used to live in, it was part of the thing as well, like, on our street, we had, like, a communal dumpster and recycling depot shed,
Right.
and there was a compost shed in there too, and you could just take all your compost and dump it in there, right?
Very
So,
cool.
I know more people
So
would do it.
where are you coming from? So where are you physically in this world?
Sure, so, I'm on the West Coast of Canada, on Vancouver Island.
Ooh, I love it there.
Do you? That you've
I've
been
been
have you been here?
well, okay, I've been to Vancouver's the city, right?
Yes.
And I've been to what is the little art community? There's like a little island, Granville, Grand.
Granville Island, yep.
Love it, love it. And then
Super
I spent
cool.
time in Vancouver there, and then is it Yaletown
Yep.
and Gastown, right?
Gastown, yeah.
Love it, love it. So
Gastown's super
cool,
cool.
such a cool vibe. I mean, a little
So
intense in Gastown, a little intense, little the drug vibe was a little intense.
yeah, there's a
Little
downtown
strip, yeah.
East side culture there that's been, you know, a problem for years and years, and it's
Hmm.
something that's being talked about more, and there's more
Hmm.
initiatives to try and help those people right now, but it's
Right.
definitely like this little pocket of
Right,
that.
right.
Yeah.
I loved Vancouver. I fell in love. Like my husband and I talk about if we didn't live in Denver, what are some other cities we really like? And Vancouver is up
Vancouver?
there. Yeah.
So, if you look at a map and you look at Vancouver, I am a 2-hour ferry ride and about a 6-hour drive from Vancouver. Like, that's how.
Very kind of like MXPX, like
Yes.
Bremerton.
Yes, exactly.
So do
So,
you have
yeah,
to choose between the fast ferry and the slow ferry?
we only have one. There's one way
Okay.
off this island kinda thing, so and I live on the
Wow.
very, very, very northern tip of Vancouver Island, and so
Hmm.
my community has about 3,000 people.
So you're Canadian.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Do you think I sound Canadian?
Yeah, you say out, out, out.
Yeah,
You've got the
yeah,
roundo. Oh yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
I actually this community that I live in now, I was raised here and moved away and went to school and did all the things, and then I ended up back here
Hmm.
about 4 years ago, so
So question, like when I think of Canada,
yeah.
I think of it. Five Iron Frenzy has a very funny song about Canada. Have you ever heard it?
I haven't.
I'll send it to you. It's so funny. We talk
Okay.
about milk in a bag and venison, Slurpees made from venison, and we call it. The chorus is "Let's go to Canada. It's the maple leaf state."
Yes,
Right. But I
exactly.
think when I think of Canada, I think of your country being way more progressive when it and down the road and better about caring for the earth than I think of the states. Do you
Do
think that
you
that's yeah, do you think that that's true or do you think that people feel that way?
Um, I think it varies where you are in Canada, definitely, just like I
Mhm.
think where you are in the States. The West Coast is hugely environmental.
Right.
Um,
Hippies, hippies.
yeah, totally. You know, we've got old growth forests and we have a fishing community and there's all kinds of, you know, preservation around all those things.
Mhm.
The middle of Canada is farming and oil. And then,
Yeah, okay, same.
you know, and then
Okay.
and then the East Coast is again fishing and farming and, you know, that kind of thing. So I think it's kind of like the States where, you
Hmm.
know, the little pockets are different.
Right.
I'm definitely aware of it where I live, that's for sure.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
so that's kind of why I connected with you, because I saw you posting about chickens.
Yeah. So,
Tell me.
oh, I love my chickens.
I know, right?
So we live on almost 3 acres.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I have 20 chickens.
What?
Currently 20
20?
chickens. Yes.
Can you tell them
Uh,
apart? Be honest. Can you tell them
okay.
apart?
So 2 years ago, I got a flock, named them all, could tell them all apart. They were like,
Mhm.
and then last fall, I had a predator problem and they almost all got killed
Right.
one by one. It was awful.
But do you know what predator it was?
We think it was a mink
Oh, yeah. Okay.
because whatever was killing it just wanted to play with it, not eat it. So
Oh,
it
that's
was
crazy.
it was a lot of carnage. I'm pretty good at doing all things chicken, except my significant other is the one that has to deal with the death part. I plan on getting to that point of
Sure.
either having to kill a chicken that needs to be killed or that
Mhm.
kind of thing. I just haven't got there yet, but so yeah, I lost my flock, but recently a friend of mine moved to a new location where she couldn't take her entire flock with her, so I just inherited them all.
That's awesome.
So I'm learning who they are slowly. They're all
So
different
this is a
breeds,
new, you've adopted a whole flock.
a whole flock all at once.
So when you say flock, because like I have 5, let's be
Okay.
honest, I have 5 outside, and then now I have 10 babies right now inside,
Oh,
because
you're
we're
right.
raising some babies for somebody else to have, So
Yep.
10 babies. What number do you think is a flock? Because 5 is not a flock, is it? That doesn't count.
I feel like it counts. I do
Mm,
because I started with 5
okay.
and they were tight. They were buddies.
Yeah,
They
they are. They're
they
they're
did their
tight.
thing together. They knew each other. I think 5 would be the minimum for a flock. I definitely feel like
Okay.
I definitely feel like
Yeah.
20 is a significant flock now.
So do they make pods then? Do they roam as one 20-piece flock?
So I have 18 new ones and 2 old ones were mine. And the 2 old
Mm,
ones stick together and the
yeah.
18 stick together right now.
Yeah.
But there's a definite pecking order amongst them
Mhm.
all.
Mhm.
So you just gotta kinda watch I mean, I could talk for hours about chickens. They're
Sure.
fascinating, how they live and how they interact and how they communicate and, like, so these 18 chickens that I inherited had never free range before. They were always yeah.
Oh.
So when they got here, they started free ranging and watching
Mhm.
watching them, like, figure out how to do
Mhm.
that has been hilarious. And now the second I walk out my front door, they know that I likely have food or scraps,
Yep.
and they
Yeah.
immediately but, like, bum rush me kinda thing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, recently I was eating a piece of pizza outside, and we have this black chicken that we rescued called Rosalie. We had 4
yep.
chickens, and one we had to rescue because raccoons had gotten to a friend's
Mhm.
flock. This little chick, she's tough, and she jumped up on my plate. It made me scream and drop the pizza, and I'm like, "You little
Right? They
velociraptor!"
want
Like
it. That's what
sometimes
they're
they're
like.
tough.
They're little dinosaurs. My original flock that I had, they were all named after punk rock women. So
Ooh,
so
cool.
I had the entire Bad Cop band all
Okay,
named, and
nice.
then I had, Brenna for Brenna Red from Last Gang.
Mhm.
Brenna was my favorite. She was the last remaining one from the Predators, and she
Oh.
actually she actually got attacked by a hawk. A hawk flew into the run, tore
Mhm.
her apart completely, and I brought her in the house and I nursed her back to health for about a week and she survived, like, nothing happened. They're tough as hell, bird
Yeah.
chickens, like, they're so
Yeah.
tough, but
Yeah.
but yeah, so they were all named after punk rock girls. Now I've got a variety of names that I'm still trying to figure out who's
Mhm.
who, like Myrtle and
Yeah.
yeah, all the different things, yeah.
You may not like how our chickens are my daughter's. She's,
Okay.
14 now, but when she was 11, she asked, I think when she was about 12 or 13, we got them because of COVID. There was nothing else to do. And have you ever seen those omelet coops?
No.
It's a brand, OMLET, very
Okay.
expensive.
Okay.
Very expensive because they're from Europe, but they're hard plastic.
Okay.
And the reason I told her, I was like, you have to save the money to do this plastic coop or we're not doing it because I'm not dealing with wood warping in the snow. I'm not dealing with termites. And this thing you can just power spray
Cool.
and all the yuck comes off.
Yeah.
Plus it's created so you can add more extensions. If you add more birds, you can just, I mean, it's $100 more and you get like how many more feet for more birds, or
Yeah.
you can spend more money and get this. They have a solar powered door opener and closer. And I
I've
really want to get that. It's like $80, but I feel like it would be so worth it.
I have a friend who has one, and she
Mhm.
loves it because the birds are just used to it,
Yep.
and she doesn't have to worry
They
about
they
it.
go in on their own and then it will close it. And they already
Yeah,
go in. It's just so cold outside, or you want to sleep in the summer. Do you want to get up at 6? No. But the point about all this is that this omelet, I mean, it's expensive, but no animals can get in it. And that's why I
that's
like
pretty
it,
cool.
because yeah, around here I've heard of, foxes, and then people are dealing with, like you said, we see hawks coming over all the time, or
Yeah.
sometimes big rats, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, so ours is I have, like, a old shed that's been converted into their coop, and
Hmm.
then we have, like, chicken wire that's been, like, in the run, chicken wire that's buried with rocks in the
Hmm.
bury,
People forget you have to go underneath.
right? Because the animals
Yeah,
will
you
dig,
have to.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Then we have layers of predator net, and then we have predator net over the top.
Hmm.
So, yeah, it's a lot of work. What you're talking about sounds extremely low maintenance.
It's so low maintenance, but it's, yeah, like I think the thing was like $500, but you
But it's
know,
it's that or you end up having to replace chickens often if you don't have a secure enough coop and run, which can be devastating.
yeah. And also I didn't want to do it. So since it was my daughter's idea, I was like, and she saved money for 2 years, like all of everything. And she had craft fairs and she
Cool.
babysat and she got the money.
Good initiative.
So
That's great.
I know, right? And then it's kind of
Yeah.
like, I don't have to deal with it. It's like, you have chickens and do your thing.
Do your thing. Yeah. That's me.
Yeah.
That's me. Yeah.
So when
Yeah.
you bought this land, do you also, sometimes when people buy land, then they get kind of crazy. Then they're like, oh, baby goats, or they're like, oh, maybe I want to do a duck, or do you get aspirations for, you're nodding, for other things, or do you have to hold yourself back,
Okay,
or?
so it's a constant battle. So, Colin, my partner and I,
Mhm.
he wants, like, large dogs, many, many large dogs.
Do you
We've
have
talked
one now, a large dog?
Yeah, we have a 130-pound dog, we have
Oh,
a smaller rescue dog, and we have 3 cats on top of the
you
chicken.
have a lot of animals already.
Yeah, so I think I counted between my toddler, the preteen, Colin, me, and all the animals, I think it's like 28 mouths to feed on a daily basis.
Right.
So, he wants another dog, my daughter wants, like, a rodent type, like,
Yeah.
ferret type thing,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
we've talked about goats quite a bit, but that's a lot of work. They're more work than
Mhm.
people think they are.
Mhm.
But when you have this much space and you're such an animal lover, like Colin is a very much an animal lover, and it's a
Mhm.
slippery slope to want more. I have a almost 2-year-old, and that feels like, 5
Yeah.
goats in itself. But you're right, it is a slippery slope when you have property to just wanna keep
Mhm.
adding to it. Yeah.
If you get a chance, my last podcast was about beekeeping.
Nice.
And those
That's cool.
seem relatively easy, and they give you way more honey than you would have imagined.
Than you would
So
imagine.
that might be something you could do.
We actually had a little, what are the kind of bees that you can buy and they come in, like, their own little
I don't know. I won't know. Is it to watch them so kids can like have an educational moment like they do for
Well,
butterflies and
you
ladybirds?
like kinda, yeah, like you
Yeah,
order a house
yeah.
and it's got all these holes in it and you just plug in the larva type thing. That
Okay.
sounds
I don't
ridiculous.
know. No, it's fine. I don't know.
Your previous guest will know. She'll write in.
Maybe.
But yeah, so bees would be cool. I could do
Mhm.
bees.
Yeah, the thing
Yeah.
with goats that people don't realize, and I talked to some people that do goats, is little girl goats, like they'll give you milk, right? But I think they need to be once a year, they need to be with a little boy goat to keep the milk going. And then, or something, they have to get pregnant once a year. And then you have to milk them like every day, I guess, or something like
Yeah.
that.
You
Like
can't
with,
not milk your goats. You have
yeah,
to milk your goats. You can't be like, "I'm
yeah.
skipping milking today."
No, that's
No.
too much
And then
work.
boy goats are really raunchy. They
Yeah.
stink.
Mm,
So,
no.
I know, I feel like appropriate goat keeping for the energy level that
Mhm.
my family has would be like 2 old retiree goats that have, like,
Right.
a year
Right.
left.
What about a duck? What about a few
Well,
ducks?
we saw ducks the other day, and we stopped the car, and we pulled over at this little farm, and my daughter and I both drove away, and we looked at each other, and we went, "Ooh,
Yeah.
maybe."
Yeah, maybe.
I don't I guess, like, the thing for me would be the eggs, like, I don't think I would eat I can eat duck eggs?
So here's an interesting thing. Some people who are allergic to chicken eggs can eat duck eggs.
I
So
didn't know
you can
that.
find forums to sell them for more money.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
That's
they can't get
cool.
them very easily, you know?
Yeah, but they're cool.
But
Like my daughter said to me the other day that she wants to come back in another life as a duck because they can swim and they can fly. So yeah, that's one thing. Colin talks all the time about putting a pond in. So
Mhm.
I think if the pond happens, maybe we could get ducks.
Yeah. I
I
like
would like
those
to
ducks where they run and their heads look like they're gonna tip over, like they're falling, like they're have you seen those ducks? They look
Yeah,
ridiculous.
some of my chickens, I should send you some pictures of my chickens now that we've talked about it, because some of them have like the really, I got it. I'm still learning all the breeds that I was
Sure.
past, but like they
Mhm.
have the really hairy legs,
Yeah.
like, and their feet are hairy. So when
Are
they run,
they I wonder if they're called silkies. Some of them are
I had there's
well,
silkies and Brahmas and
mhm.
a few other ones. Yeah, they're
We
pretty
have
cool.
Americanas, which are the brown different colored ones, and they lay greenish eggs, greenish blue eggs.
Yeah, I have a couple of those
Super
too.
beautiful. I love them. And then we have one that you'll love. It's very punk rock. The rescue one is black with if you look in a certain light, it's green, like iridescent.
Yeah,
It's
that's kind of like
gorgeous.
my one chicken who's named after Jenny from Bad Cop, Bad Cop, because in a certain light she looks blue and Jenny has blue hair, so that's how she got that
Nice.
name.
The one I don't like, and the kind I will never get again, and I don't want to be like racist against chickens, breedish. But have you ever had a white leghorn?
I haven't.
Don't.
Are they mean?
They're skittish. They're very
Okay.
skinny and they don't like people. And this one, it's amazingly fast at doing switchbacks. So like most birds, you can kind of like, ease them
Corral.
back into where, yeah, corral. This one, as soon as you start to corral her, she like
She runs.
180s every time. It's like she's so fast. She's like a little football player. Like she's
So
amazing. And I hate her.
do you have a rooster?
No, we're
Okay.
not. We live in the city and we're not supposed to. And
Okay.
yeah, so out of these 10 that we have, one might turn out to be a rooster, and then you're just
Yeah.
gonna have to Craigslist and see who will take it.
Like 6 of them could turn out to be roosters.
The likelihood is pretty low. 'Cause when we got them at like a urban place that they kind of hope that they're not.
They kind of know, yeah. We had one rooster. His name was Coconut Joe, and he was the
So you
most
didn't name him after a punk rock guy?
No, he came to me with the name Coconut Joe, and he was the most evil animal I've ever known in my whole life. We ended up having to kill him because you could not step outside without being attacked. And
Mhm.
they've got talons on the back of their feet, so they jump up and they kick you with their talons. And I was worried he was going to go after the baby. So,
Yeah,
but like
Coconut Joe.
we literally could only leave the house if you had something in your hand to like hit him with.
Yeah.
So he had to go.
No
And now
thanks.
we have a replacement rooster, and he's a baby, and when he crows, his voice cracks still. It's very cute. So
Yeah,
he's a gooder. Yeah.
that's cool. What is gooder? Just means like a good
Yeah. He's a
gooder.
he's a
He's a
keeper.
gooder. I've never heard that term. He's a gooder.
He's a gooder. That's
He's
a
a
Canadian
gooder.
word.
I guess it'd be a cool band name, the Gooders.
That's a good one. Yes. That's a gooder
That's a
name
gooder
for
one.
a band. That's a good one.
So I just found out something, and I want to talk about this really briefly.
Sure.
Have you ever gone to a venue that uses R cups?
No, what's an R cup?
Yeah, right. So the 2 weeks ago, I was at a venue called the Gothic Theater. It's here in Denver, and it's an
Yeah.
AEG venue. And my husband and I, the month of May, just for whatever reason, we're taking the month off of alcohol. Like usually we drink like some wine or beer, some margaritas, whatever. But we were like, let's just take it easy for May. So he went to go get us some drinks and like, sparkly water with lime. And it was in a hard plastic cup. And essentially our cups are, this is a very hard word to say, you can compost them.
Compostable?
Compostable. Yeah.
Compostable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But AEG signed a whole contract with like the Gothic, Mission Ballroom, the Bluebird, and the Ogden, which are the main venues here in Denver.
Yep.
And they're all going to use them.
Wow.
And so there's these big like trash cans where you can put them in there and to compost them. And there's different colors for like if you have alcohol or not alcohol.
Yeah.
But it's like a hard plastic cup.
That just goes away. That's so cool.
Yeah. I was looking at the website and Warped Tour. I don't know if Warped Tour still exists, but it was on like the list, and some bands were on the list of like Bon Iver, and different bands were on the list of like, we use this. So I don't know. I didn't know if Canada had an equivalent or if you've run into that at all.
So the biggest thing here is straws. Everywhere has gotten rid of straws.
Mhm.
So I work part-time at a local brewery, and
Oh.
they don't have straws like at all. And a lot of places now have banned plastic straws. So you either get a paper straw or no straw at all.
I saw a thing recently where they're trying to make, I saw it once, like where they're trying to make it out of pasta or like Rice. Oh man. Well,
Yeah.
thank you for being on today. I loved everything you
Yeah.
had to say. I think it's awesome that you're doing so much on your big piece of land. Maybe let's connect in about a year and see what you got going.
Yeah, I would love that. Please don't let me have baby chickens or baby humans. No more baby
No more
anything.
baby humans. Okay, I'm not having more baby humans either, which is why that that is my
Yeah.
baby. Right.
Um, I just wanted to share one thing while we were talking about the chickens too and,
Yeah,
like, the
please do.
environment. One thing too that, like, sometimes people who are new owners to chickens don't realize is that you can literally feed your chickens all your food scraps. My chickens take all the food out of my kitchen that would normally be food waste, except for meat
Mhm.
products. I don't give them meat products or anything with, like, high sugar, but, like, cutting down on the food waste in my house, like, that would
Mhm.
either go to the garbage or the landfill and stuff, so that's something I highly suggest people who have chickens or new chickens to research because it can make a huge difference in your garbage, your
Yeah.
landfill, like,
Yeah, that's for
you know,
sure.
that kind of thing, and,
Yeah.
it's super fun to watch your chickens, like, eat leftover spaghetti, so
You feed them spaghetti?
Oh, yeah!
See,
They make
I would see,
corn.
this is the problem. I would do this kind of stuff. Like, I want to feed our chickens more things, but my daughter's pretty paranoid and they're hers.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I kind of have to like she's even paranoid about apple seeds and potatoes and stuff.
Oh, no, they get everything. They get
Mm,
leftover grains and pasta and all the veggies. I give them,
yeah.
banana peels, bananas, all the fruit.
Yeah.
I even give them all my citrus rinds, like lemon and
Okay.
lime rinds and stuff.
And they eat it, they eat that down?
They have fun scratching it, and,
Okay.
like, it keeps them busy too. So even if they don't eat
Yeah.
it, it
Yeah.
keeps them busy. So,
Hmm.
yeah, that's my
It is
little
fun. No,
my
it's
little
good. The other thing that I do is I garden. And so in my weeds, there's certain
Yeah,
weeds, especially dandelions, you just throw them in there. And it's like, instead of
totally.
just, filling up a big bag and putting it in the trash, they eat the weeds and then make me eggs.
That's right. Yeah, and you know where
Yeah.
your eggs how your eggs are being made, right? So,
Hmm.
it's
Pretty
super cool.
cool. It's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, again, you're super cool, mama.
Aw,
I
thanks.
don't know when I'm going to be in Vancouver next, but I will hit you up because I love
It
it
would be
there.
amazing. It
Got
would
to
be
ride the
amazing.
ferry.
Yes. Thanks for
All
having me
right.
on. It was, super fun to get to talk to you.
Definitely. Everybody check out Mabel Syndrome's got a lot going on, a lot of forums, a lot of podcasts. There's really cool merchandise, women supporting women and men supporting women. We can all get on board with that. All right. Take
Absolutely.
care.